And welcome back to Luminary Leaders Live. My name is Shelly Harrison. I'm your host. And to the left or right of me, I'm not sure, depending on what direction you're looking, I have my guest today, and I can't wait to get into a conversation. We talk backstage. We have some fun things planned for you. My name is Shelly Harrison, like I mentioned, and I am the CEO and founder of Luminary Leaders. And we get to interview some amazing people, and today is no different. So I would love to introduce you to my guest today, who is a media icon, and he is actually a sports broadcaster, and he does so many other things. So you're gonna love the conversation today. His name is Rich Trigger Bontrager, and did I say that right, Rich?
Home run. You hit it.
Oh, good.
Woo, the crowd went wild on that one.
Oh my gosh. And he is, as you can see on the screen there, CEO and founder of Rock the Stage Media. So Rich, let's get into this. If you could tell our audience what you're all about, and let's just get the conversation going.
I'm all about media. Sheila, thanks, by the way, for having me on. This is great. We did have fun backstage, and we're going to have more fun, not just now, but tonight. But I am all about media. I am a media junkie, not just as a professional speaker and coach. I help people better rock the stage. I take people and make them more media savvy, because nowadays, whether people know it or not, we're on TV a lot more. This is not a Zoom box or a whatever box. It is TV. I coach people to rise up, to perform, and show up for better sales, marketing, presentations, so they can really rock whatever their stage is.
Yeah. And I know we talked about that beforehand, and you had several different backdrops that we kind of experimented with, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. Rich, I would love for you to kind of share with our audience, your background. You have many years of broadcast, and like you said, you shared with me that you've had a microphone in your mouth for a long time. So can you kind of share just your humble beginnings?
30 years of broadcasting, and I never should have got past year one. Part of my story is I have a horrible stutter. I still have it today. This is National Stutter Awareness Week, everybody. So here's a selfish plug. But I openly share my story that my college professor even said, "You have a great voice. No one will ever hire you." Mm-hmm. And he was absolutely true. And part of my journey is I got into sports broadcasting. I got into interview talk shows, play-by-play. And when I can ad lib, when I can get more free flowing and not scripted, my broadcasting career took off. To this day, we still talk about this. I still talk to Richard Long, my college professor. He laughs. He goes, 30 years later, I was dead long. You've done pretty good for yourself. So that's part of my story is I was an overcomer. I always loved media, but I had to find where I fit, and I fit on this atmosphere completely unscripted.
What a great story, though. And I think, like you said, unscripted, having a just a curiousness, I think, is key, where we're not scripted, we're not looking down, looking at questions, and you being, the interviewer and host that you are, what are some of the tips, kind of along the lines of that for people that are looking to maybe start a podcast or a radio show? What are some of those tips you can give them?
Yeah, the first tip I always give everybody is the show's not about you, it's about them. You want to say, in the sports terminology, you want to tee them up with as many home runs as they can get. Give them good questions so they will hit it and nail it and shine on stage. It's the best feeling to see them know, I got that one. Never ask questions that are off the table. If you do a pre-conversation, a pre-questionnaire, and they say this is off the table, as a journalist, do not violate that. I know people love to twist the knife and play the game, but never do that in an interview. I would advise you totally against that. And really, the other thing is to have fun. Let the guests know this is not 60 minutes. This is going to be a fun interview.
Yeah.
It will go by faster than you ever imagined.
It does. It really does.
And then finally, the final point would be listen more than you speak.
Yeah. Yeah. And that sometimes is hard for people. And that's great advice. And I want to give a shout out because one of my very dear friends is in Tanzania. And she, Safari K, we want to give you a shout out. Thank you for watching. She's an awesome person. I've known her for many, many years. And if anybody wants to take a African safari, you want to definitely check in with Kay for Tanzania. Yes.
Me.
Yes. And she, oh my gosh, she does the most amazing trips. Follow her too on Instagram. She's got a lot of live action. But back to you, Rich. Let's talk a little bit about those backgrounds because we did experiment with them
Yeah.
earlier. And I want to kind of show our audience and tell us about that little tip that you had, because I know I've got my swivel chair in the back. And people were telling me, a couple of people said, get rid of that chair. And I have a green screen, but I don't use it. And I need to start using it. So share with us those tips.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
green screens are wonderful. And to me, this is an environment. I coach 5 E's of rocking the virtual stage, and
Five
environment is one.
E's.
This lets me know I'm on camera. It lets me know I'm on stage, and it transformed my room, my studio, into any place I wanted to be. It also, by the way, if you're going on the road, no one knows you left your studio. It's a
Yeah,
great
yeah, that's
thing.
true, right? As long as you have your green screen.
And yeah, so
Yeah.
I actually have a fabric that I take with me. I pin it on walls when I go. So mine has my brand, my name of my company. People know a little bit about who I am. The QR code will take you directly to my cell phone, and it will help you know other contact information, my website, my Instagram, my Facebook. So you right now, if you scan that, it will go right to my card and you will learn more about me, have follow up. So this is prime real estate here. You can literally advertise and promote yourself because 70% of what we communicate, Shelley, is nonverbal.
Yeah.
Why not use the real estate you got?
That's right. That's right. And like, for example, with your background, the live show is going to be, it's feeding right now, but really it's going to continue where people could still take a copy or a picture, I should say, of the QR code so they can still connect with you,
Yeah,
right?
and
Because it's
that's
going to
how
be
much
out there.
replays that. So anyone that watches this on replay, I'll still get connections. So
Exactly.
take full advantage of the long play in this too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you are coming to us from Washington, D.C.,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And so what are the fun things that are happening in Washington, D.C. these days?
Oh wow, we just had the flowers blooming. The blossoms. The cherry blossom festival is massive out
Oh,
here. People
yeah.
are going back to see baseball, hockey. And there's just sports is a big thing. So it's a great city for me as a sports fanatic to hang out. Plus, Baltimore is just 45 minutes away. So
Mm.
if the Nats are not doing well, I can go up and watch Baltimore.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it's a great, but also it is
Yeah.
a global stage here. This is one of the epicenters of the entire world. So it's great as a journalist to be here to watch and hear what's going on right in the backyard.
Yeah. Gosh, I love all of the different things that you do. And, you have your media, you've got, just the different services that you provide for speakers, for authors. Let's talk a little bit about that now.
Sure.
And, maybe share with our audience how you help them. And I know, there is a cost to do it, but when you told me the cost, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so affordable. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, media skills is what I'm really about. I am into helping make you more media savvy. So I do coach you on presentation. During the pandemic, I was coaching all virtual, like learning how to pop off the Zoom card, how to look professional, where to look at the microphone, how to
Yeah.
do hand gestures properly, because you can't do stuff like this anymore. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It is TV stage skills you need to learn. So I do a lot of that for CEOs, executives, startup businesses that are trying to do their webinars or seminars. There's
Yeah.
something to be done here on what I call the virtual stage. I'm doing hybrid events now where I'll actually produce, co-host, or actually show run with them,
Yeah.
part virtual, part in person. And the hybrid is a great way to go right now. We're still uncertain of COVID and regulations and travel expenses are going up. Do not abandon this virtual space. Go with hybrid, but I coach on how to make it more interactive. How do you bring your virtual crowd in touch with your in-person crowd and vice versa? There's a lot of creative
Yeah.
ways to do it. And then finally, I'm back out in person. And learning
Oh,
stage interaction is huge. How do you break the glass with your audience to pull them into your presentation? How do you make them feel the emotion? How do you use your voice and use a story and get high and get low, but still maintain control of your voice? And what I talk about everybody is takeoff and landing. The beginning of your speech, the end of your speech are the most important because airplanes crash more often when they take off and when they're landing. When they're up in flight,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Speeches are the same way. If you don't have a great
They truly
takeoff,
are.
you'll lose them.
Yeah.
If you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
nail it and land it, they don't care.
Mm-hmm. And what are your thoughts on, we all hear call to action, towards the end of a speech, people, they want to offer their products and services. I mean, what are your tips for kind of doing it in a more authentic way?
Again, that's where I go back to my story is always part of my story. I am the brand.
Mhm.
By the way, you are now the brand, not your product, not your services.
Yeah.
You are now the brand. So part of my brand is I stutter. Part of my brand is I am a sports enthusiast. So everything I do plays off of that. So going back to those coaching things you're talking about, I
Mhm.
run book launch parties for authors, virtual or in person.
Which is
At that,
exciting.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's it's
that
it's
is. Because
it's
they want
wonderful
the publicity. Right.
because it's
Yeah.
part of the interview. It's part of highlighting them. It's
Mhm.
amplifying their book to Amazon, whatever it is. But through that, I'm helping to amplify them as that thought leader. It's not just about their book. So my
Mhm.
goal is to amplify them. Now, I also coach them on how do you show up here on camera. Let's have some books on your placement over here. Let's may have an easy
Mhm.
QR code. All the elements I use, I coach them to come along more on camera so their event goes off bigger and bigger as well.
Yeah.
So I
Gosh.
blend a lot of elements, and that's all the authentic me. I just can't stop talking about media.
Well, when you're passionate about something, it's so easy and effortless to, to share and really want to give to other people. And I know you are one of those people where you're just the first time that we connected on LinkedIn. So I believe I reached out to you on LinkedIn because really my goal was I would love for you to interview some of our clients. And I know we
Yes.
have a couple that we've already talked about that I can't wait for you to meet. But that's, the platform on LinkedIn. What are your thoughts on, Facebook versus LinkedIn and really, in terms of media, which
So
one or are they both?
So great question, Shelley. That's
Yeah.
great. Facebook's more for the family, and it's become more of a
Mhm.
loosey-goosey platform. If you're a business, is you're an entrepreneur, a CEO, LinkedIn is my number one preference. I
Yeah.
get up, my LinkedIn goes on in the morning, doesn't shut off, so I'm done for the night.
Me too. Oh my goodness. I love LinkedIn. Hey,
Because for
quick.
the business,
Yeah.
that's your platform, that's your place. Now they're getting
Yeah.
more video geared, so now you can do 3-minute coaching video. You can talk about your clients, your expertise. We're streaming live on LinkedIn Live, I believe, so people can literally see you right now in the moment doing this stuff. Plus, you
Yeah.
can integrate it with other platforms in other ways. I think LinkedIn is the number one business platform for speakers, entrepreneurs, CEOs.
Totally
Have a
agree.
killer profile, have links and highlights to your content. Let them know what you do. Like I coach people to rock the stage. That's my tagline. People
Yeah.
can figure that out pretty easily. Now, Facebook still has a great service, and
Mhm.
I know you have a great following in the Facebook groups. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, business person, create those groups, use it as a funnel to get them into other things you do. It's not an end
Mhm.
all. Don't just hold them there tightly by yourself. You use that group to add more value, to bring them to your live shows, to bring them to your interviews,
Yeah.
to get them into your courses. They both play a big part, but number one right now, overall, I'll lean more toward LinkedIn every day.
Yeah, me too. And I'm not going to completely go away from Facebook. I'm trying to dabble into Instagram. So for my followers, if you have any tips for me, I would love them. We're trying to, figure out a way to, integrate that with our company. And TikTok, I'm not there yet. TikTok, I have some of my clients that do it.
So let me
You
share
have,
two quick stories here. I
okay.
let
Yeah.
Instagram go shallow for a while during pandemic. It just wasn't popping. It wasn't. They added a lot of reels and features and stuff. I'm like, just too much. Just
Yeah.
stop. So I just recently reactivated stronger on Instagram for
Oh,
speakers and leaders like us. It's a golden gem. That's
yeah.
my third platform that I use now, and it is getting results. Now,
For you.
TikTok, I tried to be all professional, and I was doing some coaching videos on TikTok and having fun. I got sucked into doing soundtrack ad-libbing and microphone singing and dancing and
Yeah.
being goofy. I found it as my outlet for fun. Now, I know a
Wow,
lot of people use it for
fun.
business now very successfully.
Mhm.
I just think I
Well,
have that outlet
influencers.
for fun.
Yeah.
What was that?
Influencers, a lot of influencers use TikTok and they make money. They make a lot of
They
money on
do.
Instagram too. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of platforms, a lot of ways to go. the thing is, number one is you have to know who you are as a presenter. You have to figure out how you're going to come across in this camera. My personality is fun and light. I like to have a good time. And, what's your personality? What's your brand? And how are you going to communicate that here? That would be more important than any other graphic font picture you can put up. They want to know you and how you come across.
Exactly that. Yeah. And, we actually have, okay, so Kay is asking a question. What is the platform again on Instagram that you mentioned?
So Instagram now has Reels, where you can have a video clip and things like that. And there is another one. I'm gonna do this live, everyone. Hang tight. This is a great question.
Oh,
So I'm gonna go to Instagram right now. So
okay.
there is now, you have insights, you have contact information, you can do reels, you can do a live feed like we're doing right now. You can grab your phone, jump on live, talk to it. So they have much more interactive tools, plus these square cubes that you always post and get leads and follows that way. So it's much more media savvy than ever before.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kay says it's 11 p.m. where she is in Tanzania. So is it too late for her to do a TikTok or Instagram post?
It's never too late because
It's
they
never
go
too
global.
late.
And
That's
that's
right.
another
So
thing
there
we
you
learned during
go.
pandemic. There's no time zones anymore.
That's right.
There's
That's
none.
right. Such a great point. And Rich, we're coming to the end of the show, and I just want to make sure that people know again, can you talk about your QR code there and how wonderful it is for them to just take a quick picture and what it does?
Yeah. So if you literally grab your phone, bring up your QR or the picture app, take a quick snapshot, that will take you to my Hi Hello business card. Get a wonderful picture of me, and it has all the other websites and all the information to better contact me, including my phone number. I encourage you to connect so I can coach you up, equip you up, talk about book launch parties, talk about how I have a highlight feature called Spotlight, and we spotlight you. It's only $250.
Yeah, that's
So there's
such
a
a
lot of
deal.
ways.
My gosh, that's part of the marketing budget and a smaller piece of the marketing budget.
And I have larger scale, smaller scale, but that's an easy one to get into. But if you want to learn more,
Yeah.
that's the easiest way. You have everything to find me on social media, and I love to connect with people. So please take advantage of it.
Oh, that is fantastic. And I'm going to learn from you how to make one of those QR codes for Luminary Leaders.
I can help you out there.
I would love that. I would love that. Well,
By
Rich,
the way, we've not mentioned that we're not done here today.
We're not. We are not. We're going to flip the conversation because do you want to go ahead and tell them what we're going to be doing later today?
Coming up tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to flip the script, flip the microphone, turn the tables, and Shelly Harrison would be my guest on How to Rock the Stage tonight.
How exciting. And I can't wait because we had fun here and we get to have more fun. So I'm looking forward to it. And where can people find the show?
It's a full hour. If you're on LinkedIn, you can find it there. There's an event on How to Rock the Stage with Shelly Harrison. You can click, you can register. You can go to my Instagram. There's a post on that. You can go to Facebook. You can post on that. You can go to my website, rockthestagemedia.com. You can register, find the ticket registration. It's free, absolutely free, but we have a full hour with Shelly live tonight. You don't want to miss it.
So excited. And I'm going to have a wardrobe change and, just kind of doll up a little bit.
I love it.
Yeah. So Rich, again, it's been so much fun. Thank you so much for being on Luminary Leaders Live with me here. And we want to thank our audience for tuning in. Remember to subscribe and just follow us. We've got some amazing guests, including who you heard today, Rich. Trigger is his middle name. So maybe later today, we'll talk about Trigger on your show because I want to have people, know who you are and what you do.
It's all about branding.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I appreciate that. Rich, again, thank you so much for being on the show. And to our audience, we will see you next time. Thank you.